All right, so we covered in the first video, I think abundantly clear that money is an emotional topic. So the next question we need to arrive at is, well, how do I get emotionally healthy when it comes to relating to my finances? You may have a lot of questions about how do I get emotionally healthy in general, but we're just going to cover this for right now. So I'll start with the little story. Me and my wife were in bed. It's the middle of the night. We're sleeping, and I wake up to my wife saying, "What is that? What is that?" And this is terrifying because I'm waking up thinking there's either somebody breaking into my house. I have no idea what this is, but I wake up to my wife going, "What is that? What is that?" And I look up and I see this dark figure at the bottom of this dark object moving at the bottom of our bed. And I'm instantly terrified out of my mind. And so I muster up the manliest thing that can come out. And really what came out was, "Ah!" I start squealing like a little girl. And the next thing, me and my wife grew up in a very spiritual culture. And so I think the first thing that came to both of our heads is it's either a ghost or a demon or something scary, supernatural. And so this dark object that was moving along our bed that my wife is going, "What is that? What is that?" And that now I'm screaming about, then proceeds to climb onto our bed. And now my wife is screaming, I'm screaming, and the figure suddenly says in this creepy child voice, "I'm Audrey." And suddenly we stop and realize, oh, this is my 3-year-old Audrey just making herself known. She came to climb in bed with us. And I felt really bad. I felt really bad afterwards that we were just, my daughter came to receive comfort and we just screamed in her face. But she didn't seem too traumatized by it. So it's, the end of the story is she did receive the comfort, and we all had a good laugh after we couldn't sleep for a few hours because we were so terrified. But why were we freaking out so bad in that moment when it was, in reality, there was nothing to be scared of? So the reality was my daughter is in our room. This isn't something that hasn't happened before, but we were so scared because of what we believed to be true in that moment. What we believed to be true was this is a supernatural occurrence and it is coming to hurt us or something like that. And so what we believed to be true was creating a huge emotional reaction within us, and which was a lot of fear, and we were reacting out of that. Our belief followed by an emotion, followed by a behavior. And that's where everything comes out of. So if we can recognize that our beliefs create an emotion that creates a behavior, we can start to change the beliefs back here so that our emotions can follow suit, so that our behaviors are a lot easier to manage. And so, whenever I ask people, hey, what would you do if you won the lottery? You get a ton of different answers, but one of the most common ones I hear is I would give this much to my so-and-so, I would give this much to my so-and-so, I'd give this much away, I would give this much away. In essence, people get really, really generous with the hypothetical winnings that they just got. And that's really great, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you add that up, you get people are giving away about 10% of the winnings that they get. So then the next question, which I don't typically ask this because I don't want to shame anybody, but my next question in my head is, I wonder if they're giving away 10% of their income to these people right now. I would venture to guess the answer is no. People are a lot more generous with hypothetical money because it doesn't exist. And so what I want to point out there is this commonly held belief that a lot of people have that does need to change because it's not reality, and it causes us a lot of behavior that is not very helpful financially. Is, if only I had a little bit more, then what? Something would change. Something would be different. I would be more comfortable. I would be more stable. I would be more at peace. Things would be less stressful. So in this example, people saying I'd be I'd be really generous with my money if I had a little bit more. It's just not reality. All money does when you receive it is amplifies what's already inside of you. So if you want to be generous when you win the lottery, you got to start being generous with what you have right now, because it's only going to amplify the good and the bad of what's inside of you. So the same is true with your level of comfort and peace with where you're at financially, with how you're doing in general right now. The more money you get, if you get a raise, you get a promotion, you get a bonus, you actually happen to win some money on a scratcher ticket, even though I've given some of those examples, don't just go out and buy that. I'm not suggesting it. More money will not give you comfort. Comfort is just a state of mind that you can achieve changing what you believe. More money will not give that to you. Your bank account does not control how at peace you are. In fact, more money at times, if you look at it, you might feel that sudden surge of, oh yes, but guess what? You will spend that, okay? There's an economic principle called the marginal propensity to consume, which means the more money you receive, the more money you spend. And when people think, if only I had a little more, typically what they're thinking is, if only I had a cushion just sitting in my account. But anybody who doesn't currently have a cushion will not have that cushion in the future unless they change what they believe to be true about it. The good news here is that you can be comfortable, you can be at peace, you can be happy no matter where you're at, even now. Even at your current financial state. As stressful or as chaotic as things may seem, all that chaos, all the stress, all the discomfort, all the unease that you may be feeling is happening in here. It's not actually happening in your bank account. The powerlessness you feel is an inside job. So you have the power to change that. You can actually change what's going on inside of your head and inside of your heart. That's the good news. If you can change what you believe to be true about money, which is that it does not have more power over you than you have in yourself, then you can change the way that you feel about it. You can change the way that you feel when you don't feel like you have enough, when it doesn't seem like there's enough. You can change what you feel when it seems like there is enough. You can be okay no matter what.